So you might be aware that I don't usually cover MMORPGs, but there's a good reason why I'm doing an Archeage video. Out of all the MMORPGs I've tried, from Guild Wars 1, RuneScape, WoW, all the spectrum, I've played a lot. The only one that I ever actually enjoyed for a long period of time was Archeage. And I think the main reason for that was because the crafting, the PvP and the PvE was actually so wide in what you could do. You could pretty much PvP from level 27, which is pretty easy to get. You could get that within around a day or so if you were playing it, quite a bit. Whereas most games, it tends to be that you kind of rush to the end of the leveling just to do the PvP, and this was quite a nice change of pace. The crafting in it is also very in-depth and interesting, and there's lots of different professions. And on top of that, it had a lot of different world bosses, raids, dungeons and things like that to keep you entertained when you weren't killing people. And I've been keeping an eye on it for a while because it was a bit riddled with pay to win stuff in terms of them putting stuff in the cash shop which could give you an edge. And I've really been watching since Gamigo bought Trion because I was really interested to see what they were going to do, whether they would just stick to the usual formula or whether they would move away for something new. And it seems to be that now that Archeage is turning 5 years old, not only are they updating the graphics, not only are they bringing Unchained where you buy to play and there's no monthly subscription, they are also going to make it for us that we are no longer going to be behind career, because usually we would be patches behind career, we'd see them get a load of cool stuff and we would have to wait for it, knowing exactly what was going to come, what the meta was going to be, and it's going to be really exciting to see a new meta that nobody knows what's going to happen because we won't be behind anymore. But if, like myself, you're not really a fan of MMOs and the way they usually play, and you haven't tried Archeage, I would definitely keep an eye on what happens with Archeage Unchained. And if you want to try it now, you can play the current patch with the free-to-play version. Just be aware that things are a bit different in how that one works, and you can buy items that will give you a little bit of a boost. But just to kind of list off what makes Archeage unique to me is the trading system, the housing system, there's naval combat with fully mannable ships and cannons, there's different types of ships as well as the things you can do with them and upgrade onto them. There is raids where you can have 50v50 into certain parties, or if you want to have 100v100, you just have to have two separate raids fighting each other. There's crime points, you can send people to prison. If they do bad things, they go to jail. And the weird part is they actually have a trial. So you actually go on trial for your crimes. There's different races with unique skills and ways that they are going to be useful in a party. You can also, if you do enough crimes, you can actually turn your character into a pirate where everybody is hostile to you and you literally live on a pirate island with other pirates. After a certain amount of time in the game, you can make your own faction and nation, so you can actually make your own little government system. And let's not forget the cherry on top, you can have castle battles to defend certain areas on Aurora, which is the essentially open PvP area where you can fight for resources. But even if you're not convinced by what I've told you and what's going to be happening, I would definitely keep an eye on it, because even if you don't like MMOs, this could be the game that changes your mind, because it definitely was for me. But really, this was just a short informative video for anybody who hasn't heard of Archeage, although I would be very surprised unless you're not a fan of MMOs. Plus, on top of that, I want to open up the possibility that in the future I might make more Archeage videos when Unchained does come out. It is something I am going to have to kind of think about though, because I don't know whether I'd want them to be informative or just kind of your standard, this is what I'm up to at the moment guys video. But that's pretty much it for this video, and I'll see you for the next one.